Everyone who is successful gets lucky, and they have advantages that the average person doesn't have. And that might be discouraging to hear, but the good news is you can create these advantages. You can become a lucky person who bends reality to your will. And then 6 months from now, a year from now, 3 years from now, you'll look back and think, holy shit, how did this all happen so perfectly? How did I get my dream friend group, my dream income? I live where I want. I have the dream lifestyle that I envisioned. I have my dream car. And everything kind of just feels like it fell into my lap. Yes, I know that I put in the work and I took the right actions consistently, but like, how the fuck did it all work out so perfectly? That's typically the feeling that you end up getting once you reach success. Not that you weren't intentional and that you don't deserve it, but rather like, wow, that shit actually worked like even better than I could have imagined. And I'm telling you, if you just take the right actions consistently, God or the universe will do the rest of the work, and you'll end up in that position where everything just aligns for you. So when I observe people in my life and with my own journey, everyone follows this kind of similar path where it's like you start doing one thing and it kind of works. Maybe you have some success. Let's say you start a marketing agency and it's kind of working, you're making some money, but that leads you to the next thing. And then while you're doing that, you start building your personal brand. You start using that to connect with other like-minded people in the space. So now you're running a different business and you're making friends on the internet, and things just kind of start to work together. And you start to get some leverage over here, you start to make some money, and you start to meet more people. And then next thing you know, you start a different business and you're making a ton of money. And now you have this super cool friend group that you've met on the internet. And you're like, holy shit, that happened really perfectly. I couldn't have planned it any better, but it all worked out for me, and that's amazing. So almost everyone in my life, like that's exactly how it happened. And I like to tell this story of my friend Philip. This is honestly like when I genuinely sit back and look at it, it's fucking insane how this worked out. So I was posting on TikTok 2 years ago. It was like life advice and business advice, and this random kid keeps commenting on my videos, doesn't have a profile picture. He's like user 674302, and he keeps commenting, help me, mentor me. And I like disregard it. I'm like, okay, there's just another little random bot that's commenting on videos. And then one day, I am sitting at dinner and I see this Venmo for 87 cents. And it was like, hey Ben, I'm writing this college essay right now, and there's nothing more I want to do than drop out and live the life that you're living. Any help, like just please help me, basically. And I was sitting at dinner and I had $1,000 sitting in my Venmo account because a friend of mine had just paid me for something else. And then like, when before the money hits your account, it's like not your money. Like if you have money sitting in PayPal, it's basically like cash. Like I have to get rid of it. Or if it's in Venmo, obviously, again, I have to get rid of it. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm in a good mood. I'll send this kid $1,000 and, hopefully he'll do something good with it. And that was really fucking lucky. That was really lucky for him. Obviously, he went out of his way to go and find my Venmo, but you can't make that up. It's just like he'd sent me that money at the right time, and I was in a good mood, and it just worked out. But I didn't ever think to like see him or hear from him again. And then what he did after that was taking that luck and like actually doing something with it. So yes, he was intentional enough to send me the Venmo. That was creative as well. So I was like, fuck it. All right, let's see what you can do with this. But then he like basically forced me to take him under his wing and start mentoring him. And I told him to get into sales. He actually listens to what I said. He gets into sales. He starts making money. I remember probably less than 6 months later, he just books a plane ticket to Miami. He grew up in Chicago and he books a plane ticket to Miami, and he just pulls up on me and like inserts himself into my friend group. And he just happened to be like cool enough to where we would accept him. But like this kid kind of got his foot in the door partially through chance, but then kept kicking the door and fucking knocked that bitch open. So that is a perfect example of creating your own luck. And yes, luck is an element to it. Like The first business I ever ran was a basketball trainer marketing agency. And the reason I picked that was because I grew up playing basketball and I was like, okay, I can learn how to run Facebook ads and then go talk to people that, I already know what it's like to be a basketball trainer. I worked with dozens of trainers growing up. I can talk to them, we can relate, I can talk basketball, like let's do this. And in hindsight, it was a pretty dumb business model to pick because those businesses are just kind of tough to deal with. But I ended up getting really lucky because that led me into the info product space. So I ran that basketball trainer marketing agency for maybe a year and a half, almost 2 years. And then I started connecting with a lot of the big online basketball trainers and started working with them. And these were guys that I used to look up to. If you know basketball, you probably know the names Jordan Lawley, DJ Sackman, Gannon Baker, Mike Dunn. I started working with all these people that I was like, holy shit, this is cool. I just kind of stumbled into this space, and now I'm working with guys that I used to watch on social media, and they were selling online basketball training. So I started running all of their ads and writing their emails and, just using the skills that I've accumulated to apply it in a different way. Rather than initially I was just working with people who needed local clients for their in-person business, but now this is online. So obviously more scalable. And luckily, I started to learn all about info products and how to sell courses over the internet. And then at the same time, I had started building my personal brand on Twitter. So I documented my whole journey from starting my agency to then making 10, 15K a month within the basketball trainer marketing agency. So now I have this network. I have this friend group of other people who are building online businesses, and many of whom were selling courses, who were selling coaching. So I ended up in this perfect situation where I was like, okay, I started my first business. It led me to working with these online basketball trainers. Now I have the skill of copywriting, the skill of marketing, and being able to sell coaching over the internet. And luckily, because I started my personal brand when I started the agency, now I have a network. Now I have all these people who, hey, I could potentially go and pitch them my services and help them. So it was really easy for me to then go and transition outside of just the basketball world to then working with anybody who was selling coaching and selling courses. And that's kind of just how it fucking works, bro. And I look back and I'm like, holy shit, that's really cool that it all worked out that way, and I didn't plan much of it. I never was like, oh, I'm going to start the in-person agency, and then I'm going to get connected with the online trainers, and then I'm going to transition into info in general, that's just more broad info. You can't really plan it. And it's the same way if you're starting any service-based business. You have to get lucky. The best client that you will ever get will be partially because of luck, because you reach out at the right time and you say the right things and you have the right tonality, and it just works out perfectly for you. I'm working with a real estate coach right now, and I started working with him maybe 3-4 months ago, and I had just reached out at the very perfect time. They were looking for somebody like me to come into their business, and I sent him a pitch via Loom, and I found his email, and everything was kind of a mess, and we came in and we've helped him make a lot more money. And it again just happened perfectly because I took the action. So it's consistent action over a long enough time period will result in luck, and you'll feel like, holy shit, the universe just wants me to win. I am God's favorite. And this is especially true in outreach and service-based businesses. It can be discouraging if you're doing outreach for your business, whether you're trying to build an agency like mine or any type of service-based business. If you know that you want to get customers, you want to get clients, you have to do a fuck ton of outreach. And that is not fun at all. But if you can actually sit there and think okay, one of these can be a home run. If I just send the right pitch at the right time and the right person opens it, this can be a singular client can change my life. A singular connection can change my life. In dating, you can meet the right girl and that ends up being your wife. So when you look at it like this, it just helps you gain this clarity and I can get lucky and the more, if you knew that you were destined to win the lottery at some point, one in your next 1,000 tickets was gonna hit and you'd become a billionaire. you would go every single day. You would try to get as many fucking lottery tickets as you possibly can. And you would just be incredibly consistent because you know that one of those will absolutely change your life. It's the same way with getting clients, or even again in dating. You know, like one girl can end up being your wife. And when you think about it like this, it helps you get over that, oh, this outreach game sucks. I don't want to do this. I don't want to keep sending outbound pitches because most people don't respond. Most people don't even look at it. I don't even know what to say. What happens when I get a client? This is all a pain in the ass, and I just want to quit and go work at McDonald's because running a business is hard, and I'm not going to get lucky because everybody else gets lucky, and this kid Ben on YouTube is telling me that I'm not a lucky person, and he's God's favorite, and life sucks, and woe is me, and this shit's so hard. But get over that. Get over that, and you will realize that you are a very lucky person because you can be consistent. You can have the resilience and the mental strength to keep going and be creative and maximize any opportunity that comes your way, like Philip did, like I did when I started working with a lot of the online basketball trainers. Like you can use luck to get your foot in the door, and then if you just put your all into it and work as hard as you possibly can, that changes your life. And if there's like one thing that I wish I would have realized earlier, it's that would help me be more consistent when I'm trying to do outreach or when I get an opportunity. And, you know, I'm sure everybody has the habit to sometimes half-ass things, and I was no different. And if I would have known that, yo, listen, any opportunity you get, maximize the fuck out of it. Some of them won't work out, but some of them, if you're consistent, you will get lucky. That will become a 30, 50K a month client that will change your life. That random person that you meet on Twitter will become one of your best friends. That singular YouTube post, singular Instagram post, singular tweet will end up leading you to meeting somebody who, you know, you end up building a really good friend social circle with. Like, that's how I met everybody that I know here in Miami. And I have more opportunities coming my way. I have more people that are DMing me every single day that just like, hey Ben, I want to connect with you. Like, we got this thing going on, we got that thing. Like, it's crazy how everything just accumulates, and it's through these small, consistent actions. And eventually you get lucky, something goes viral, it goes across the right person's feed, and next thing you know, you have your absolute dream life. It's not that hard. You just have to get over that initial resistance and know that if you can do that consistently, you will get lucky. You will end up on the other side, and you're gonna be really fucking grateful that you started. All right, ladies and gentlemen, God bless. Thanks for watching. Go to the description if you want to get rich. Like, subscribe, comment, share this with your grandma. Peace.